Today I am Anale Amdan and I will be discussing the American influence on the development of the Philippine theater. So, first we have the Filipino American theater. So, Filipino American theater it ranges from topics such as Filipino American history to modern Filipino issues. So when we say Filipino history to modern Filipino issues, it talks about the immigration stories. It shows the experiences of Filipino immigrants to the United States, including their journeys, struggles, and triumphs, and also colonial past. Some plays delve into the history of Philippine American relations, examining the legacy of colonialism. And as for the modern issues, it shows the social justice and equality. Um, it it um, s- it scopes the racism discrimination for Filipinos during those times that um, they are in the USA. So the themes for these works were mostly influenced by the Spanish colonial rule as well as the American colonization. So, second is the Philippine theater. Philippine theater is composed of pre-colonial performance traditions as well as colonial influences from Spain and the USA. So, some common subject matter tackled by Filipino theater focuses on the historical background of the Philippines and the relationship between the Philippines and the United States. So, some Filipino American productions provide personal, societal, and cultural perspective from the past to now. And themes in Filipino American theater um, some themes for Filipino American theatrical works are focused on the historical background of the country, such as the Filipino American War, martial law, and the dawn of Filipino independence. So when we say the background of the Philippines, it is exploring events like the Philippine American War, as what I have said, martial law, and the dawn of Filipino independence. So these historical events have deeply impacted the Filipino American community, shaping their identities, experiences, and struggles. So when the Filipino American War happened during the year 1899 to 1902. So it shows the trauma and legacy. It plays often explore the lasting trauma of the war, including the loss of life, displacement, and the suppression of Filipino culture. Also, the forgotten history. So, theater can shed light on the often overlooked history of the war and challenge the dominant narrative that often minimize or ignores the Filipino perspective and also the veteran experiences. The plays can focus on the experiences of Filipino veterans who served in the U.S. military during the war, highlighting their sacrifices and the challenges they faced after returning home, and also the martial law. So, as for the martial law, we all know that uh, under the Ferdinand Marcos regime in the year 1972 to 1986, it shows the political oppressions. So plays can depict the brutality and injustice of the Marcos regime, including the suppression of dissent, human rights abuses, and the silencing of opposition voices. And another is the exile and resistance. So, theater can explore the experiences of Filipinos who fled the country during the martial law, highlighting their struggles in exile and efforts to resist the Marcos regime, and also the fight for democracy. So the plays can celebrate the courage and resilience of Filipinos who fought for democracy and ultimately led to the overthrow of Marcos. The third one is the dawn of Filipino independence. So the dawn of Filipino independence, it shows the hope and disillusionment. So the plays can explore the hopes and um, dreams that accompanied independence while also acknowledging the challenges of complexities of nation building. Another is the economic and social issues. So theater can address the ongoing struggles for economic equality, social justice, and the fight against corruption in the Philippines. So that's all. It shows that. So example of plays, is the America play by Susan Laurie Parks. So it is not specifically about the Philippines, but this play explores the legacy of slavery and its impact on American identity. So which resonates with the colonial experience of Filipinos. So let's proceed to the influences in the development of Philippine theater. So, the earliest form of theatrical work started within indigenous theater, which mainly performs rituals. So, although these rituals may seem purely cultural, there is also a huge religious influence over um, these rituals, and to this day, they are still practiced by specific groups. So, other than tribal rituals, there are also tribal dances that are practiced, depict significant tribal activities within the community. So we all know that we are being colonized by the Spaniards during within the year 1565 to 1899. It is a very very um, long long time to being colonized by the Spaniards. So Filipinos never failed to find a way to cope with this regime. So during the colonization of Spain, we all know that Christianity heavily influenced the lives of Filipinos, which led to religious pieces and performances throughout the country. So one form influenced by Spain is the called comedia. So comedia is a traditional Filipino theatrical form with roots in Spanish medieval literature. It is typically involves a heroic narrative with elements of chivalry, often featuring battles between Christians and Moros. So, commedia, which varies between two themes, the secular and the religious. So, when we say secular, it is not related in any religious acts. So, for example, of a play called The Bag, which talks about the search of Elena and Constantino for the cross of Christ. It is still performed in some towns. So another religious form is the cenaculo. We are already familiar with this because it is commonly called the Passion of Christ, which is usually performed during the Lenten season. So between the year 1878 or 1879, another form of performance called zarzuela was introduced to Filipinos. So zarzuela is a Philippine play that combines prose, songs, and dances to tell a story, often about Filipino romance and addressing social or political issues of its time. So it draws from Spanish word zarzuela, or Italian operas and one-act comic skits. So the main theme of Zarzuela revolves around the love story between different social classes, which made the dramatization more interesting. Let's say an example is the Dalagang Bukid in the year 1919. It was the most popular piece of zarzuela within the culture. So during the 19th century, the Spain introduced drama, which is a play that is usually done within one act. So, drama mainly focuses on the contemporary lives of Filipinos. So, drama had three subgroups, which included the melodrama. Melodrama, which aimed to make the people cry, and second is the comedy. Comedy, which aimed for people to laugh, and the third one is the drama symbolico, which thought the audience some symbolism within the storyline. So, let's proceed to the American influences in the development of the Philippine theater. So, from the year 1901 to 1946, the American colonial regime affected Filipino theater. So, on November 4, 1901, the Sedition Act was enacted in the Philippines. When we say sedition, um, it is an act made it as a crime for American citizens to print, utter, or publish any false, scandalous, and malicious writing about the government. So the laws were directed against Democratic Republicans, the party typically favored by new citizens. So with this law, it was prohibited for any type of media or speech to go against the United States. So, during the 1930s, Filipinos were exposed to Western theater and Western classics. So, during this time, Filipinos adapted to American culture and to American theatrical standards. So, one influence from the occupation is the development of the performance form called vaudeville, which is the vernacular equivalent of vaudeville. So vaudeville is more of a mixture of songs and other type of performances that were popular in the United States. So let's proceed to the Filipino American theater groups. So one Filipinos American theater company is the Mai Theater Company. So it is started in the year 1989, and in 1991 the National Asian American Theater Co. Incorporated, or the NAATCO, was founded and is also a company that involves Filipino American plays and Filipino American casts. So another organization that organizes Filipino playwrights is the Sining Bayan. So Sinimbayan is an art of nation building. It is a social artistry field book to promote good citizenship values for prosperity and integrity. So Filipino American Productions, the Sining Bayan has staged the play Isuda Ti Muna, or so-called They Who Were First, in the year 1973. It mainly encircles the lives of Filipino agricultural workers in Central California. So the following year, which is 1974, in Mindanao, came out in which talks about the land rights of Filipino Muslims and farmers in Mindanao. So in the year 1976, a play called Tagatupad came out with a focus on the struggles of um, an- anti-eviction laws within the working class Filipino community. So one of the most controversial plays within this time called The Frame Up of Narciso and Perez in the year 1979. So basically, it focuses on the murder of Narciso and Perez, um, patients at a Veterans Administration hospital within the same year, Visions of a War Bride 1979 focused on a Filipina that came to the United States as a war bride. So years later, T. Mang Yuna, or in the year 1981, led by a collaboration between the KDP and ILWU Local 14.2 of Hawaii, deadline throughout the community. So Um, with its goal to educate the audience about labor union drives in the year 1990, Dog Eaters by um, Jessica Hagedorn was published, um, which works well as a playwright. So, Dog Eaters talk about political and cultural issues within that time. So, let's proceed to the issues in the Filipino American theater community. So, when the first group of Filipinos joined the theater community, they also received a lot of backlash. So, one of the most common instances are racial issues. So, one of the most popular plays that had a lot of Filipino actors is the Miss Saigon. The Miss Saigon had the issue of casting a white actor for an Asian role. So, with this, it exposed the history of yellow face within the theater community. So another issue that was faced due to Miss Saigon was when it had its own production in the Philippines. So JV Ejercito, the owner of the production of Miss Saigon, became a member of the Philippine Congress. So JB Ejercito background stirred up controversy since his father Joseph Estrada was still in power when the production was going on. So the public implied that the production gained its money not through profit but through politics and free enterprise. So during the production of Miss Saigon, the international work force for Filipinos was also rising. Um, Filipinos were seen as little brown uh, F machines or the LBFM by military men, thus giving Filipinos the roles of prostitutes within place. So because of Miss Saigon, Filipinos were then seen as maids and domestic helpers. So that's it. So let's proceed to the Filipino American productions in universities. So Filipino Cultural Night or the PCN is an event mostly organized by students in which they express cultural aspects through through theatrical mediums. It was established in the year 1972 to celebrate the Filipino American community at California State University. So, California State University um, had their first PCN with the theme Anyong Filipino or Portrait of the Filipino. So, around the 1980s, PCN incorporated folklore dance to theatrical narrative. So, in the University of Hawaii, the PhilAm Club sponsored an event called Gabi ng Pilipino or the Filipino Night. So, it featured popular dance and musical presentations from the late 1970s to mid 1980s. So, book about Filipino American theater is the Barangay to Broadway. So, Barangay to Broadway, the Filipino American Theater History by Walter Ang, published in 2018. And that would be all for my report, and thank you.